Yesterday was his 150th birth anniversary. So throughout many of all over ISKCON temples were celebrating it, plus the Gaudiya Math. Even we saw in the beginning in February a postal stamp was released, and our revered Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi ji himself, spoke also in commemorating the release of this postal stamp and glorifying Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we will try to understand who he is. Right, is born from Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Bhagavati Devi, Mother Bhagavati Devi, is one of the 14 children. The fourth son was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was born on the 5th day of dark lunar fortnight of the month of Govinda in Purushottam Kshetra Sri Jagannath Puri on February 6, 1874 at 3:30 p.m. This is how his birthplace looked like. And from the very beginning, we see before his birth itself, just as we see Advaita Acharya is worshipping Shaligram Srila, his Shaligram Srila, with Ganges water and Tulsi leaves. Very earnestly worshipping with all devotion and calling out for the Lord to appear, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears. Similarly, we see Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He sees that after Mahaprabhu's unmanifested Leela, that many pseudo upper sampradayas had started rising all over, and many pseudo devotees who posed as devotees, as sahajiyas, were seen all over. So he was asking out for help and praying to the Lord that, oh, please provide me with more help to fight all these pseudo devotees. He himself was a magistrate, and at that time stationed in Jagannath Puri, Purushottam Kshetra, and that's where hearing his earnest prayers, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj appeared as a, and is called as a ray of Vishnu. His Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated devotee. His original position in the spiritual world is also mentioned in Nayana Manjari. Like we have Srimati Radharani, and then we have gopis assisting Srimati Radharani, and then to the gopis we have Manjaris assisting the gopis in their service to Srimati Radharani, in her service to Lord Krishna. And that's why his early childhood name was Bimal Prasad. because no, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was earnestly praying to Lord Jagannath, since he was stationed in Jagannath Puri, was earnestly praying to Lord Jagannath. And when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj appeared, he considered that as the prasad of Lord Jagannath. And the prasad of Lord Jagannath in Jagannath temple is offered first to Bimala Devi. Is offered first to Bimala Devi, even now at Jagannath temple, who is like no external representation of Shakti of the Supreme Lord. So that's why his childhood name was Bimal Prasad. He was a fourth son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srimati Bhagavati Devi. And from his very birth, all the 32 symptoms of Mahapurusha were manifested in him. One of the significant symptom was the umbilical cord um, was wrapped around his torso like a Brahmanical thread, right? It was wrapped around his torso like a Brahmanical thread. Um, when he was growing up, at 6 months, when he was 6 months old, um, their residence was right on Grant Road, on which the Rath Yatra of Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra takes place in Jagannath Puri, where Lord Jagannath cart goes from Jagannath Temple to Gundicha Temple, and probably even less than 100, 200 feet away from the Jagannath Temple is on the left side the house of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Mother Bhagavati. And when the cart came at the place, near the place, the cart stopped. Lord Jagannath's cart stopped. It mentioned that it stopped for almost 3 days. And Mother Bhagavati Devi, seeing that the cart has stopped right in front of her residence, she didn't want to miss this opportunity, and immediately she brought the child out, and no, she was allowed to go up on the cart, and she put the child at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. Right, she put the child at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath, and the garland of Lord Jagannath fell on the child. Right, and seeing that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur immediately could realize that that is not an ordinary child. This is like all this time he's praying to the Supreme Lord, and this is a very, very special child. That the umbilical cord was right across his torso as a Brahmanical thread, and now we see Lord Jagannath's special mercy. He was praying to Lord Jagannath, and his special mercy is manifesting in form of a garland, which was right on the child, around the child, as it was like the Lord blessing him with his mercy. And during that time, the first grain ceremony was also performed, and Annaprasan, and the Charanamas, the first grain was Jagannath Prasadam. Right. First grain was also Jagannath Prasadam. So that was the grain ceremony was performed on the cart itself with Jagannath Prasadam. Then the inclination of the child was seen, and the child was inclined to Srimad Bhagavatam, indicating that in future he will preach this message and glories the Lord throughout the world. Uh, when he was 10 months old, his mother took him to the district of Nadia, where he grew up in Ranaghat, and he grew up hearing the stories about Krishna. Um, at 3 years of age, there was this pastime of a mango episode where um, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had brought mangoes to be offered to the Supreme Lord, and the child uh, desired to eat that, and he grabbed the mango to eat it. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur kind of to teach the child, chastised him mildly that, hey, no, means, um, anything before accepting as prasad, we need to offer that to the Supreme Lord as bhoga. So, hearing that, the child, even when he was 3 years old, takes a vow that he will never touch the mango or eat the mango in his life. And he maintains that determination throughout his life that he does not eat mango, considering himself as an offender that I cannot take mango. Uh, and he said that whenever he was offered a mango in his life, when he was 7 years old, he knew the entire uh, all the verses of Bhagavad Gita. Not only that he memorized all the verses of Bhagavad Gita, but he could even um, no, give the translation about those verses and explain the meaning of those verses. And if anybody would like to get into a debate with him, he would kind of also debate with them on the words, explaining them the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, each and every verse at the age of 7. He was considered so brilliant and scholarly that he was considered as a living encyclopedia, that whatever he will read, even once, he will remember. Uh, so when he went to the school, uh, in the school he never read any books, but whatever was taught, he immediately remembered. So though without in his school he will read the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he will read the books of Narottam Das Thakur, like Pratna and Prem Bhakti Chandrika. um, um, he would excel. Even not reading any book, he will excel and top his class. That brilliant he was from the very childhood. Bhakti Vinod Thakur took him to various places of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leelas at the age of 11. At 12 years, he became well versed in astronomy. Um, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who was the spiritual master of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, instructed him to make a Vaishnava calendar, and he made the Vaishnava calendar, and which was published as Sri Navadvip Panchika. And our current Vaishnava calendar, the VKL, GKL, is also based on that Sidhanta, which was established by Bhakti Sidhanta Saraswati Maharaj in Sri Navadvip Panchika. He was awarded the title Sidhanta Saraswati for his astounding scholarship by his tutors. We mentioned never studied school books, though he could recall everything taught at school and excelled in school. At 16 years, he studied books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur very seriously and began writing on astrology and published Surya Siddhanta. He also, during that time, formed a Chira Kumar Sabha, which was also called as the August Assembly. And one of the prerequisites for becoming a member of this August Assembly was uh, you have to follow the vows of celibacy. And that What was discussed in this August assembly? Philosophy of Bhakti was discussed in August assembly very nicely. At 18 years of age, in 1892, he entered Calcutta Sanskrit College and became learned in all 6 branches of Vedic knowledge. Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotisa, right? um, Pandit Prithvidhar Sharma praised him and encouraged him to study throughout life. But his reply was, "My life is for the single-minded cultivation of teachings of Sri Chaitanya and not for cultivation of grammar." So he did not graduate from the college. And his simple reasoning at that time that, oh, if I graduate, next thing my family will want me to uh, get a job and get married. And he wanted to remain Naistik Brahmachari. Right. And throughout his life, he followed celibacy. He was offered a chair in astronomy in Calcutta, but he declined. He accepted post of editor and strongly condemned malpractices. He put an end to cheating activities in the kingdom, and from 1905 to 1895 to 1905, for 10 years, he served as assistant to the Tripura Maharaja on Manipur in the royal assembly of the king of Tripura. And for some time he accepted pension and later he discarded even that. He was following all Chaturmasya with strict vows of Chaturmasya. So much so that he would cook for himself only one preparation during the Chaturmasya, and the preparation which he will prepare, he will put that on the floor without any plate, and while chanting the Holy Name of the Lord, he would just bend down with his hands behind him like a cow, and whatever comes in his mouth, he will accept that as his prasad for that particular day. Right. And during the entire 4 months, he would lie on earth without any bedding, from following strict austerities of Chaturmas. In year 1898, we see that he toured different places with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Banaras, Gaya, Prayag, and discussed philosophy in line of Ramanujacharya in 1899, wrote number of spiritual topics in a magazine Nivedana, a Calcutta weekly, and in the month of Magh in year 1900 he got initiated by Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj was extremely renounced, right? He had just come from Vrindavan and he had some minor possessions of a Tulsi Mala and few books. That's about it. He was the disciple of Bhagavad Das Babaji Maharaj, and six are disciple of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And he had a bhajan kuti right at the residence of Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Sukhada Kunj, at the banks of Jalangi in Navadvip. So when he saw Bhakti Sidhanta Saraswati Maharaj, he offered him his own tiger skin cap, a tilak stamp, some paraphernalia for worship, and some ropes which he will use to chant on the holy name on. He was not chanting on a mala. He would On each and every bead, while chanting, he will tie a rope. Uh, let's see whether that's on. No, it's not in the picture. Yeah, it's here in the picture. See, that's how he would chant the holy name of the Lord. Yep. Uh, so, so Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj commented that upon seeing my spiritual master, the extent of my false ego diminished. And I realized that only a Vaishnava could reside in this material world and be of exemplary conduct. Um, Seeing his attachment to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, his father, kind of urged him to take initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and he approaches for initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. And we see that each and every time Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj had no disciples, neither he had any desire to have followers. Um, so that he is not bothered during his sadhana. He would kind of perform his sadhana in places where others would not even like to visit, like crematorium or like places where they pass stool. Normal. Uh, in those places, he will be doing his sadhana as a Babaji, so that others he is not bothered by others. So when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj approached him for taking diksha from him, um, means he kind of mentioned that, oh, no, I'll have to ask Mahaprabhu. And each and every time when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj would meet him, we'll ask him about, oh, did you get a chance? He said, oh, no, I have not asked, or I have not met, or I have met, but I forgot to ask. Right. And after several times, after asking, and finally, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said that, oh, I'll give up my life if I don't get initiated. And he began to cry just like we see in the case of Narottam Das Thakur and Lokanath Goswami. Right. Um, uh, Thus showing his eagerness and determination for the mercy of a pure devotee. And finally, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj mentions to him that, okay, go and take bath in nearby Saraswati river and come back, and he initiates him, giving him the name Varsabhanavi Devi Daita Das. Varsabhanavi Devi Daita Das. That's how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj gets initiated, and there was this, he was the only disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj did not initiate any disciples before, or even after initiating Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj did not initiate any disciples. That's his initiation picture. Sivarsabhanavi Devi Daita Das. And after getting initiated, Namaji started preaching more vigorously, started writing commentary on Chaitanya Chaitamrita Anubhashya, published book, various books, establishing the superiority of Lord Chaitanya, and give classes regularly in presence of his father, and preached publicly strongly against misconceived teachings to end uproot slowly these upper sampradayas which had now started rising in that area, and now destroying the pseudo devotees, the surgiers, who were posing themselves as if they were very advanced and rolling in mud, as if exhibiting the symptoms of a pure devotee, though they were just pseudo devotees. He compiled Vaishnava Manjusa Samadhi, and many other books. He also studied books of Madhvacharya and Amanujacharya and toured South India in 1904, 1905. Bogus cults were doomed in his presence. Um, Bhaktivinoda Thakur finally instructed him to go and perform bhajan near Yogapit, birth site of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he takes a vow that he will chant 1 billion names of the holy name, and for 9 years um, he started chanting 3 lakh names of the holy name every day, which is 192 rounds. Like Haridas Thakur would chant 192 rounds every day. Same way, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj for 9 years chanted 192 rounds every day. He was staying in the glass hut at Yogapit for 4 years, eating once a day rice cooked in ghee, lying on ground, studying scriptures. He was performing so much austerities that his Gurudev, Gorakishore Das Babaji Maharaj, said that I observed that the renunciation of Sri Rupa Raghunath has manifest in my Prabhu. Right? That my disciple, my Prabhu, the renunciation of Sri Rupa Raghunath, like Raghunath Das Goswami, has manifest in Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Although Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj never allowed anyone to touch his feet, he voluntarily placed his feet on the head of Sidhanta Saraswati and ordered him to preach extensively and preach absolute truth and keep aside all other works. Right. To that, following that, there was this big controversy about Brahman and Vaishnavas in the assembly of all scholarly people who started considering that Brahmanas are higher. And he went into that assembly, and the discussions went on for 3 days. In his discussion, he glorified the Brahmanas on the initially, um, gave the definition of who the Brahmanas are, then gave the definition of who the Vaishnavas are, and the relationship between two, and thus he established um, finally that the authorities of Vaishnava is much superior than the Brahmanas, right? The caste Brahmanas became his enemies after that, but no, on that assembly, nobody could challenge his authority because no, they were completely convinced the way Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj established this truth of um, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, which is now published in a book, Brahmana and Vaishnava. Right. At the end of the conference, no one could oppose or counter-argue. He was announced as the greatest hero, and huge uproar by the people. Thousands of people rushed to take dust from his lotus feet. Police was also there to take action. Water was distributed to everyone after washing his feet. Then there was a challenge against the names of Lord Chaitanya. That many people were considering that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was, especially the Arya Samaji, that he was a great personality, but not the Supreme Lord. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, getting all the evidences from Atharva Veda, Svetasvatara Upanishad, Srimad Bhagavatam, Smriti, Puranas, he established that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is not different than Radha Krishna. Right. And thus proving the eternality and glories of the names of Mahaprabhu, the forms and the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that assembly, his spiritual master Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj Hidandi was also sitting in one corner and hearing him, and he was completely pleased by the arguments which Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj presented. Uh, and now um, he profusely blessed him with all his mercy. There's a conspiracy where the caste brahmanas bribed the police to even kill him by giving him them 25,000 rupees, and the police officer refused that. Oh, how can we kill such a saintly person like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj? Um, yeah. In 1914, he moved to Rajapatna. In 1915, to Krishnanagar. In 1914, we see that a major event happened where in Bhakti Bhavan in Kolkata, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, on June 22nd, he left this planet, ending his manifested Leela. And we see the Samadhi of Bhakti Vinod Thakur right at Yogapet. In 1917, on Uttana Ekadasi, we see Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj ending his manifested Leela. He disappears, and various mutt heads assembled for claiming to make Samadhi of the saint as fundraising activity. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, the only disciple of his Guru Maharaj, goes to that assembly. And he says he claims the body of Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Um, so the Babajis were mentioning that Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj expressed the desire that his body be dragged on the dust of Navdvip. So we should do like that. And immediately Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj refuted that argument. He said that only those who should touch the body of my spiritual master who have not had any illicit connection for last 1 year. And if there is anybody like that, step forward. Nobody stepped forward. Then he said, oh, last 1 month, nobody stepped forward. Last week, nobody stepped forward. Last 3 days, nobody stepped forward. Last night, only a couple of them stepped forward. So then he took their assistance and moved the body of Jagannath Das, Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and made a samadhi in town of Kulia. For 16 years, the samadhi was there, and later on, since it was getting inundated by the floods of Ganges, he moved the samadhi of Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj from there to Chaitanya Math, right near Yogapet. Yep. So, seeing that Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj left, but a couple of just in the span of a couple of years, was completely disheartened and was feeling that now, if I write any commentary, whom would I bring that to? He was feeling very disheartened. So in his vision, just like as I was mentioning yesterday, in his dream at night, the Panchatatvas appeared, the the Goswamis appeared with all the associates, and a big Sankirtan started happening there. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj also appeared uh, in the Natya Mandir temple of Sri Yogapet. And they all proclaimed, "Don't worry, all of us will help you. We are always with you. We are always with you." And gave him three instructions: Gaur Nam, Gaur Dham, and Gaur Kam. Glorify the holy name of the Supreme Lord, glorify the holy Dham of Mahaprabhu, and glorify the mission of Mahaprabhu throughout the world. We are all with you. And so Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was the chosen one to carry out these uh, blessings of Panchatattva and all the Guru Parampara. On that basis, then spread the mission of Mahaprabhu. To that end, he took sannyas in 1918, Gaur Punim, on 29th March 1918, at the age of 44 years. You could not, normally when you take sannyas initiation, you take it from your spiritual master. If your spiritual master is not present, you take it from your other senior god brothers. But since you are the only disciple, and neither his spiritual master was present, and neither his god brothers were there, and neither any senior devotees at that time were there where he could take sannyas. So he got the picture of his spiritual master, Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj, and right in front of the picture of Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj, he performed the sannyas yagya and took sannyas initiation. Right. And his sannyas name was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Same year, he established the temple, deities Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, right, in Mayapur. Deep ecstatic pastimes in Alarnath. In the same year, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj inaugurated in Bagh Bazaar in Kolkata, the first center of his institution, Gaudiya Mutt, later known as Gaudiya Mutt. Like there was one associate, Kunja Bihari, who also was there at Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj passing away, who later on took initiation from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj as his first disciple. And he is the one who kind of encouraged Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. His name was Kunja Bihari Vidya Bhushan, and he was living in Calcutta. So his name after initiation was Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Maharaj. So he had a place in Man Ultadanga Junction Road in Calcutta. That's where Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj established his first center of Gaudiya Mutt, where on the first floor there'll be brahmacharis were staying, then on the second floor the grihasthas were staying, on the top floor, on the roof, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's room was there. And later on, we see that he establishes 64 centers of Gaudiya Mutt in India and 3 centers abroad. Right. In 1919, he establishes the deity for Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Godruma Dweep at Suvananda Sukhada Kunj, is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's house, and compiled a Vaishnava Vishwakosh, which was also a dream of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and started giving powerful class on the service to Guru and worship of deities. These were the deities. Gandharvika Giridhari. Uh, Later on, we see that he revived the circumambulation of Navadip Dham, originally started by Lord Nityananda and Jiva Goswami. He began publishing weekly magazine Gaudiya, began to publish Srimad Bhagavatam part by part, um, um, got all the four Sampradaya Acharyas. Um, when he established this temple, Gandharvika Giridhari temple, in Chaitanya Mutt, he got the four prominent acharyas of all these four Vaishnava Sampradayas, um, Murti, and he installed them as the Murti of Vishnu Swami, the Nimbarkacharya, Madhavacharya, and Ramanujacharya, and established the Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva, which was propounded by Mahaprabhu. Um, yep, we see these four sampradayas: Madhavacharya, Vishnu Swami, Ramanujacharya, and Nimbarkacharya, and he established that Murti. Circumambulation of Navadip Dham, vicious crowd attacked him with stones and bricks because he had refuted the 13 Sergio sects, which was very prominent at that time. He destroyed them, and because of that, they were all instigated, and they started instigating the local people, who in return were trying to attack him. And he, no, that's why he was called as a lion guru, Shimha guru. That means uh, he will destroy. And he will also mention that I was born in the zodiac sign crab, and one of the feature of the crab is it will find these faults and destroy those faults. Right. You say that the jackals may howl, but the caravan will pass. Right. Uh, he mentioned that we have so much literature that no one forget about a monthly. We can publish a newsletter at each and every second. So he started publishing a daily newspaper, Anand Bajar. Right. Okay. 1927, he translated the Sajjan Toshani. It was established by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in English, and he started publishing that as a harmonist. In 1928, in Kurukshetra, he established another Gaudiya Mutt temple and installed the deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. Um, yep. Was also debating with other. Uh, he did not want to limit Krishna consciousness only in India, so was discussing that all over. Here, like his um, was debating with a professor Albert Suders of Ohio State of University and spoke to him on Vaishnavism, and ultimately, he also converted him into a Vaishnava. Yeah. So later we see we started having even engaging innovations to expand preaching, where he will have free theistic exhibits and dioramas depicting the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, and he will have employ the latest technology, and he will make animated dolls as puppets to also show this exhibition of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Um, he was not niyam agrahi about he should wear only a white kurta and dhoti and all. He broke tradition and let his sannyasis also wear tailored kurtas and overcoats, right? And uh, he will use the Yukta Vairagya principle, where you can ride in cars and motorboats and carry Mahaprabhu's message across the sea to Europe. Right. So when he went to Radhakund, we see that he's going in a Rolls Royce. Not at all. Now I'm a sannyasi, I'm this, so I cannot take this. But for Mahaprabhu's mission, whatever is available, he would take that to establish, to spread the message of the Supreme Lord. So much so that uh, when the Arya Samajis were very much disturbed. So when he went to Vrindavan, all the Vrindavan temples closed their doors, and for 1 month he stayed at the Radharaman temple. Our Padmanabh Goswami, during the 150th year anniversary of Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, in his offering was mentioning that his grandfather, Padmanabh Goswami, is the current uh, um, Acharya of Radharaman temple. It was mentioned that my grandfather and Bhakti Sidhanta Saraswati Maharaj were close friends, and for 1 month, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj stayed there, and ultimately, all the Vrindavan temples, they accepted Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's authority and Gaudiya sect. And now we see that um, they opened the doors for him. He wanted to install 108 Padapitas, replicas of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprints in sacred locations. Um, yep. He also, on 23rd January 1931, we see him established Gaudiya Math in Madras Gaudiya Math. In 1931, he also started the only English medium high school opened in Mayapur named the Bhakti Vinod Institute. He wrote various commentaries left and right on Brahma Samhita, Lord Chaitanya, wrote Gaudiya Bhasya commentary on Chaitanya Bhagavat, wrote Rai Ramananda, close associate of Mahaprabhu, his biography. He established Braj Mandal Parikrama in 1932, and he preached convincingly against casteism and philosophical deviations from Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Right. That's why it's called the Lion Guru. And Appa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine, where the ritualistic casteism of smarter Brahmanas, he completely destroyed them. Okay. He established three Brihad Minagar, like a printing presses in Madras, Calcutta, and Krishnanagar, which used to print books after books of which he had written, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had written, even books of Madhavacharya, Ramanujacharya will be printed from this printing press, and they were going out for distribution, pumping out books, magazines, and newspapers to spread the message of Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He considered that this printing press are like Brihad Midanga, that when the Midanga you play, the sound of that will just, now the echo will be just limited in that particular room. But when a book is distributed, the echo of the distribution of the book would be echoing throughout the world. That's why it was called Brihad Midanga. These were different publications which he came out with. In 1922 was the first meeting of Srila Prabhupada with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj in Kolkata at that one Ultananga road, when a friend of Srila Prabhupada, Narendra, took him to the saintly person, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. And in his first meeting itself, he mentioned that you are a educated young man. Why don't you preach the message of Krishna all over the world? Right. That's the one Ultananda Road, where the first meeting of Prabhupada and Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj took place in 1922. And later on in Allahabad in 1933, uh, he initiates Srila Prabhupada and gives him first and second initiation as Abhay Charan Day. And later on, he has initiates more than 15 sannyasis, and out of that, he sends two of the sannyasi and one devotee to Europe to establish and spread Krishna consciousness in London. And uh, after a couple of years, he finds the Romans they did not get much progress, so he even sends one of his another sannyasi to assist them, Saranga, Bhakti Saranga Thakur, to also go there to help them. But no, still didn't get that much success as what he would have desired. And later on, we see Srila Prabhupada takes the teachings of his spiritual master and it spreads throughout the whole world. But and uh, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, at that time, many of his disciples will kind of say that, they will praise Srila Prabhupada. That slowly he should take to preaching. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj will stop them that, okay, the time will come when he will preach this message throughout the whole world. Right. It's the various quotes. Last few words. We wish that this mass of a body of flesh and blood may be sacrificed at the altar of preaching the Sankirtan movement. Right. We are not desirous of becoming a hero of a work or a reformer of religion, but our reality may be identified with the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Raghunath. For that is our everything. So these were the last few words which he spoke, and in December 23rd, 1936, he leaves his body. Just before leaving his body, we see he tells one of his senior disciple to sing Rupa Manjari Pada and then Sikshastakam, and then at the age of 64, where you kind of now chanting the names of O Krishna, he leaves his body. And we see his body is then brought from Calcutta to Mayapur at Chaitanya Mutt, and that's where his samadhi is there. This is the samadhi of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, right across the samadhi of Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj, his spiritual master, at the temple of which he had established of Gandharvika Giridhari. This is his room at the house of Bhakti Vinod Thakur in Sukhada Kunj, where his bed and chair is there. Okay, so that's what we have. Let's see. Somebody had, Sachimata had some thoughts. Okay. 806. We can just probably try to see if we can sing this Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Se Mora Sampada Se Mora Bhajana Pujana Se Mora Bhajana Pujana Se Mora Pranadhana Se Mora Abharana Se Mora Jivenara Jivana Se Mora Jivanera Jivana Se Mora Rasanidhi Se Mora Vanchasidhi Se Mora Vedera Dharma Se Mora Vedera Dharma Se Vrata Se Tapa Se Mora Mantra Japa Se Vrata Se Tapa Se Mora Mantra Japa Se Mora Dharma Karama Se Mora Dharma Karama Anukula Habe Vidhi Se Pade Hoi Besidhi Anukula Habe Vidhi Se Pade Hoi Besidhi Nirakibo Edui Nayane Nirakibo Edui Nayane Se Rupa Madhurarasi Prana Kuvalaya Sasi Prafulita Habe Nisidine Prafulita Habe Nisidine Tua Adarshana Ahi Garale Jaralo Dehi Chirodin Tapita Jivana Chirodina Tapita Jivana Aharupa Korodaya Deho More Padachaya Aharupa Korodaya Deho More Padachaya Narotama Loyla Sarana Narotama Loyla Sarana. The lotus feet of Sri Rupa Manjari are my treasure, my devotional service, and my object of worship. Somebody else will like to read?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I can read. They give me, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
give my life meaning and they are the life of my life.
Somebody
They
Should
are
I
else?
the
come?
perfection of rasa, and they are perfecting worldly of attainment. They are the very law of the Vedic scriptures for me.
They are the meaning of all my fasts and penances, and my silent uttering are my mantras. They are the basis of religion and activities.
By the purifying process of memorable devotional service, one will attain perfection, and with this, two eyes be able to see.
His transcendental form is shining like moonlight in my heart, and my heart therefore shines and reciprocates. In other words, the ordinary moon lights up the up the night, and its shine illuminates other objects, but the moon of the effulgence of the form of Sri Rupa Manjari shines into the heart and makes the heart also shine back to the spiritual sky. This moon shines not only in the night time but day and night.
Your absence from my vision is like a dose of strong poison, and I will suffer till the end of my life. Hare Krishna.
Last one.
Narottama Dasa Thakura says, please give me your mercy and the shade of your lotus feet.
Jai. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada ki jai. Shri Rupa Manjari ki jai. Shri Rupa Goswami ki jai. Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj ki
Jai.
jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Bol. Are there any questions or discussions or reflections which anybody would like to share? Anybody would like to share anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So when I have a question. When he got the sannyasa initiation, he got the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati name, right? So who gave that name to him? Can't hear you. Are you on mute, Prabhuji?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good question. Who gave him the name? Because he took the initiation right in front of the photo. That name was revealed to him,
Okay.
and ultimately he named that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Saraswati was had taken. No, Saraswati river was flowing, and he was also Surya Siddhanta when he had published at that time. Also, they were calling him Saraswati Thakur, right? So after sannyas, so that's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur are being called. Though Bhakti Vinod Thakur was not present, Dwarkishore Das Babaji Maharaj was also not present. Yeah, but good question.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah. These great personalities. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, very nice class, very inspiring. I have a question. So, or sorry if it was covered and I missed it. But when did he get this vision of spreading Krishna conscious in the world? Like when I know he instructed Srila Prabhupada right at the first meeting, I think, that he
Yeah.
should go and preach around the world. So how was he inspired with this vision?
Yeah, so from his very childhood, we see that he has been assisting Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and has a special ray of Vishnu, right? So he has that uh, special empowerment within him. But while he was doing all this work, when Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj leaves this world, he becomes very disheartened that, I've been translating this Upadesha Amrita But no means when he will translate that, no means he will bring it up to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, where now he is not present. Though I have half completed that, like the 8 verses, he had already completed that. No means now, what would I do? So it becomes very disheartened. So during that time, as I was mentioning, that he gets this vision one night when he was in Yoga Pit, where the Panchatattvas with the associates appears there. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gaur Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj also appears at that very spot. And there's a big Sankirtan going on. And in that vision, they can give him 3 instructions. Gaur Nam, Gaur Dham and Gaur Kam. Like means spread the glories of Gaur Nam, the holy name of the Supreme Lord, throughout the world. Spread the important significance of Gaur Dham, the holy abode of the Supreme Lord, throughout the world. And Gaur Kam, spread the activities, the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the world. So that's where, Lord, we are all there to help you. You spread this. She was the chosen one. And that's where we see that after that, this happened sometime in 1917 period. So after that, we see the first Gaudiya Math was also established in Calcutta by this Kunja Bihari, where he gave his house, right, one Ultananga Road, and this temple was established by Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, and he started spreading the glories of in big way after that. Is that all right, Mana Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anything else? Okay. If you don't have anything to share, we will end here. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj ki
Jai.
नमो विष्णुपदाय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले गुरुदास जयदेव स्वामी नित्यानंद। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्यानंद। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने। श्री वात्समानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाते कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती महाराज की जय।
Jai.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.